Shalom, shalom. My name is Yisrael Ben Yisrael, and I am a member of Hebrew Israelite Heritage.
Shalom, I'm Keziah Israel. I'm also a member of Israelite Heritage.
All right, we're back this time, and we want to bring to you what it means to be an Israelite, both physically and spiritually. Um, there's different aspects that separate Israelites from all other people on earth. And this is not something that is to be looked at in a prideful way, but it should be looked at from the viewpoint as a responsibility. Um, Before we go into responsibility, first let's look at some of the physical characteristics of being an Israelite. Um, we know that Noah had three sons, um, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Um, Ham, and this is commonly known that Ham was what we quote unquote what we would call black. Um, we also know that Japheth was what we now call white, or the white race, or Caucasians. But what is not commonly known is that Shem was also what we would call black. That's why if you look at the world today, you see that two-thirds of the Earth's population is quote unquote colored, and one-third of the Earth's population is quote unquote white. So you know, two-thirds of Noah's sons were colored, one-third was white, and we have that same ratio even today on the Earth. Um, so from Shem, we had Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These men were the progenitors. These were the beginning of the Israelite nation. We know that Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt. We know that Moses lived in Egypt. Actually, he was born in Egypt and grew up in Egypt. You know, so he spent all of his entire life there. And we also know that Egypt at that time and historically has been a quote unquote black country. Um, which means that Moses was black because Pharaoh looked at him and he couldn't tell him apart from a regular Egyptian. Um, and then moving forward in time, we look at the Messiah, Yahushua, what the world commonly calls Jesus, but his proper name is Yahushua. Okay, we see that he and his family, they fled to Egypt to hide. Okay, if Egypt was white or Caucasian, they were not. No, you don't. How can we put this? Okay, let's make this simple. You don't go to the hospital place where you're going to stand out. No, you go in the hospital place where you're going to blend in at. Knowing that Egypt was historically a black country, if Yahushua was white, if the Israelites were white, they would not have fled to Egypt to hide. They would have fled to a Gentile nation such as Greece or Italy to hide. So this is a little bit of evidence showing that the Israelites are people of color. They're all black. They're all what is commonly known as African Americans. Alright, so we just briefly give you a physical description of what it means to be an Israelite, but that's just physical, and we're dealing with the spiritual level here, which is more important. There are certain responsibilities that you have to fulfill as being an Israelite spiritually. Okay? The best definition that I can personally give you for being an Israelite is that you are a servant of Yah. You are a servant of the Most High. You are a servant of the Creator of all life, everything. One good question is, how do you serve Yah? Well, quite simply, you serve Yah by obeying His commandments, by obeying His statutes, by obeying His judgments. That's showing love to the Creator. That's showing love to the Messiah, Yahushua. Okay. He stated that if you love me, you shall obey my commandments. That's very true. And that's how we show love for our Father, by obeying the commandments. Now, in obeying the commandments, what we're going to find out is that you will have to make personal sacrifices. And at first, there'll be sacrifices, but as you progress in your walk, you'll see that really it's not even a sacrifice. You won't look at it as being a sacrifice. You will do it joyfully and willingly. Okay? And that's one of the problems that our ancestors had. When they did elect to serve and obey the Father, oftentimes they did it grudgingly. They didn't really want to do it, and they didn't do it joyfully. And so that incurred the wrath of our Father Yah. Um, so we definitely have to deal with personal sacrifices, and we also going to have personal challenges. And it's going to mean a changing of our lifestyles. And according to Keziah, will definitely fill us in on what some of these things mean.
I realize that some of us, when we first learned that we were Hebrew Israelites, a lot of times we relished the fact that we were Israelites, but we didn't consider the changes that our life would, face, changes we would face. And one of these are the dietary laws, which can be found in Leviticus 11. And a lot of us love that pork and shrimp and the shellfish. But, if you want to obey the law, you will have to give that up, and you will give it up joyfully. But you will be tempted, but yet you will still be glad that you're obeying the laws. And also the Shabbat, which is on a Saturday. And you know how we would love to, do our shopping and do what we have to do on a Saturday. That's the hustle bustle day. But it's in the Ten Commandments is remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And also you would have to focus in on Yah on that day. And then the holidays, the Christmas, the Thanksgiving, the Halloween, New Year's Eve, and all of that. The days where you can eat all the food you want and drink all the alcohol you want. And all this revelry and partying and good times. But these holidays are pagan. And even Jeremiah 10, if you read Jeremiah 10, that would tell you mainly about Christmas and how we shouldn't partake of these holidays. And even though it's a joyful thing to be a Hebrew Israelite, but we have gotten accustomed to this heathen lifestyle, and it's somewhat of a challenge to give up this lifestyle.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I can totally agree with everything that according to Keziah just said. It will be a challenge. Some things will be a greater challenge than others. Just me personally, looking at some of my flaws and some of my problems that I've had, I can easily say that, giving up profanity. Initially, that was a problem, but through prayer, and through studying, and through a lot of soul searching, and asking y'all for the help, I was able to overcome that, and that was a personal challenge on my part, and I didn't even see it as a sacrifice because it's nothing that I miss. I don't miss anything about profanity because it tells us that Yah will not dwell in the profane heart. He will not dwell in the profane body. So if you want to have Yah dwelling in you, if you want to have His Spirit dwelling in you, then you need to keep yourself clean, and that is just a small part of that. Again, according to Keziah, mentioned clean and unclean meats. Specifically for quote-unquote African Americans, we love pork. Okay? Well, it may be a sacrifice initially, but I guarantee you that if you do this, you'll get a joy not only from obeying Yah and obeying the commandment which says, thou shalt not eat unclean flesh, but you will also feel better. Quite possibly you will live longer. And you will have the knowledge of knowing that you have made yourself that much cleaner. Another thing of importance that Sister according to Keziah mentioned was keeping the Sabbath, keeping the Shabbat. We're going to have to go out on a limb, if you will, to make sure that we do this to the best of our ability. Because this is one of the key reasons why we are not currently in our homeland today. We did not allow the land to have the 7th year rest. It's Shabbat. Neither did we keep the Shabbat. When it comes down to Shabbat, unless you're watching the news or something like that, something that's educational, in the spiritual sense, turn it off. Y'all only ask for a couple hours of our time. The least that we can do is to do that. Turn the TV off. Turn off the video games. Don't go shopping unless absolutely necessary. And at first, these things might seem like sacrifices, but as you go and understanding, And you say, really, you're not sacrificing that. It's actually a joy to do these things.
And there's also another thing that we may face, problems with our family. A lot of times when we entered into this truth, our family didn't. But the scripture also tell us about if we love our mother and father more than Yah, we're not worthy. And I'll read you Matthew 10, verse 34 through 39. It says, "Think